Hello students, in the last video you have learned about natural disaster and earthquakes. Today we will learn about cyclone and floods.
Now, first of all, we will read about cyclones. Now, we should know that what is cyclones? A very strong wind accompanied by heavy lashing of rain, lightning and thunder is called a cyclone. The cyclonic wind mostly blows above the speed of 150 km per hour. It moves in circles in areas near the sea and causes very high waves called waves. Tidal waves flood the coastal areas. The winds usually blow from some hours, but sometimes they may continue for 2 or 3 days too. Cyclones cause miseries and huge loss. The states near coastal areas are hit by cyclones and floods. In India, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Maharashtra, and Gujarat are the worst hit areas. And helicopters are often used for airlifting people from cyclone hit areas. Several NGOs, that is non-government organizations, and the Red Cross Society also help to resettle the displaced people. Now this was about cyclones. Now on the other hand, we should know the precautions what we should take during cyclone. Now, first of all, the weather or meteorological department has instruments to study the condition of air on sea and predict cyclones. They can also roughly find out the speed of wind during the cyclone. They issue warnings to people beforehand to evacuate the affected area. People should pay attention to these weather forecasts and warnings. It can save their lives, property, and cattle. Along with food and water supply, they can also prepare an emergency kit of medicines to guard against diseases that might spread in the wake of the cyclone. It is good to carry the valuables with us while moving out of the area. And planting more trees near coastal areas can break the speed of wind and lower the incidence of loss. I hope students you have understood about cyclone and the precautions taken during cyclone. Now the next topic is next disaster means that is floods. Now, what is flood and how it happens? Due to excess rains, the water level of the river rises above the banks and overflows on the surrounding land. This is called flood. And floods are not caused by rains alone. When the snow on the mountains melts in excess, the water overflows into rivers and then onto the land. It increases the volume of water in the river. Sometimes the increased water overflows river banks and causes floods on plains. In India, floods are common during the monsoon months due to heavy rains. And melting snow on mountains. In this way also flood happens. Floods destroys crops, houses, roads, railway tracks, buildings and everything that comes in the course of the forceful flowing water. It wash away cattle, temporary shelters and belongings of people. People do not get a chance to save even themselves. And flood results in large scale damage, but they also have an advantage. Flood water carries away fertile soil from hills. They deposit sediments of this soil on the land. It makes the soil more fertile. These are the advantage of flood. And various ways adopted by the government to provide relief to the suffering people with the help of the local police, army and air force. Food, clothes, drinking water and medicines are distributed in the flood hit region. Now, in this also During floods, what precautions we should take? Now, first of all, people are warned about the oncoming floods through newspaper, radio, and television. They are also advised to move out to a safer place with sufficient food stock, water, necessary medicines. Paying attention to these warnings can save many lives. Then next is trees break the flow of water currents. So planting more trees can control and slow down the speed of water. Thus, afforestation is also a useful way to prevent floods. And the another one is raising the embankments can also prevent water from overflowing on the nearby land and causing damage to life and property. So these are the precautions during floods. Today up to here only. In the next video, we will complete the chapter that the topic left drought and volcanic eruptions in the next video. Thank you.